Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's available for free on itch.io, and if you want the most up-to-date version and or to support them, you can go to their Patreon, the Echo Project, you know. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we were trying to leave town with about, I guess it was $50. It was like one gold eagle and two double eagles with a person that we met a couple weeks ago. And then they tried to betray us, or they did. And then, we accidentally killed them. And then there was maybe something in those caves? Dunno. A guy woozily got back into town, cleaned himself up as best he could, and had a bit of booze. And now, some nightmares, I guess. I'm back in the hollow, lying flat on my back, staring into the dark. I feel strange over my forehead and eyes, like it's caved in. I know I'm not alone, because I can hear whispers and slithering around sounds in the mine. Something's been woken up, and it's restless. I feel something grab me, long, slender paws, fingers that grip into my clothes and roll me over. It crawls on my legs, sliding over my rear, and back where it sits, and chatters to itself. Then, I feel it lean over and look its teeth into the back of my head. It bites hard, crushing my skull and piercing my brain. Pain explodes in my head, and I hear a high-pitched scream. Samuel! I jolt awake in my bed, pulling my face away from the pillow, damp with its own saliva, and streaked here and there with dark red blood. What? Oh my God, he's alive! I hear the movement behind me, and look back to see Cynthia standing there, both paws to her mouth, with the other girls showing up behind her to stare into my room. Sam, what happened? My head hurts way more than it did when I went to sleep, and I find myself just staring at them in confusion, vaguely embarrassed that I'm naked in front of all these females. Then I dry heave, and alcohol and bile comes up to splatter on my pillow and onto the hardwood floor. This earns a few more screams from the girls, before a much taller, older doe pushes through them. Madame Dora stands in the doorway for a moment, taking in the scene before she shoos the girls away. I have just enough time to see Cynthia, her eyes filled with tears, before the door shuts on her. Without any hesitation at all, Madame Dora walks over to gently pull me into a sitting position. The room spins for a minute, and I have to shut my eyes tight to keep myself from throwing up again. The deer cusps my face delicately, turning my head just slightly back and forth as she examines it. You should have come to me immediately, Sam. I don't know what to say, so I keep quiet. The older woman glances over at the dresser, seeing the whiskey bottle there. I wonder if I'm gonna get in even more trouble, just as she shakes her head. You know, it's also my job to keep you healthy. Whiskey isn't going to fix something like this. Cynthia! The loud voice makes me flinch. Anything loud is going to make me flinch, actually. The door immediately cracks open, and the fox pokes her muzzle through, making me realize that they're all probably just pressed the door right now, listening. Yes, madame? Stop that crying and get dressed. Run to Dr. Avery's. Tell him to come as soon as he can. Yes, madame. Cynthia disappears again, while the madame looks over the rest of my naked body, checking for any other signs of injury before she looks back up at me. Who did this? I glance down at the sheets, but she grabs my chin gently, but firmly pulls me back to look at her. My job is also to keep you safe. Be honest with me, I don't care who it is. Her soft brown eyes look right into me, and I swallow. I was just having to walk through the streets. A couple men came behind me and bashed my head. I didn't see them. Madame Dora looks at me a while longer, and I think she probably doesn't believe me. She lets go though, and I immediately look back down into my lap, deciding to pull the corner of one of the sheets up so that I can at least cover myself a little. You should never go out alone without telling anybody, Sam. You know this. I'm sorry. Well, you suffered the consequences. Stay in this room until you see the doctor. You won't be working tonight. That should be punishment enough while you rest. Now, put some trousers on so I can send one of the girls in to change your sheets. With that, Madame Dora gets up and leave, but not before gently settling a paw on my cheek, giving me a sympathetic smile before making her way out the door, sending the other girls against the door scattering. The doctor comes by about an hour later, and I spend the afternoon sitting in a chair while he sews up the back of my head. 2 deep cuts with a good deal of bruising, according to him. He also mentions, looks like I got hit with a heavy tool of some kind. I just sit there quietly, wincing every now and then as he draws the needle and thread through my skin. Meanwhile, looking out the window, business is going on as usual. No shouts of murder, or no crowds of people running for the mines. Instead, Echo seems not to have noticed a man named Jack going missing. Still, my stomach twists at the thought of what happened, and I'm still numb, both outside and inside. Maybe that little hollow is completely forgotten to the point that no one's been in there for years. If that's the case, then I might be able to make it out of this alright. But I'm not alright. I can feel it in my chest. I killed a man at the mine. That's bad enough. But something else happened there. I don't know what it is. So I looked up the game. Well, I think I already said this, but this game is also kind of a bit of a horror, besides, romance mystery kind of thing. And that's interesting. I heard that the other games related to this might also be horror. No, I'm not 100% sure. What I do know is that it feels like it's clinging to me, still watching me. I close my eyes, listening to the thread pull through my skin, just wishing that I'd never met Jack, never trusted him, and never went to that horrible mine. Lost almost everything, and now I might just lose the rest of it. Samuel, Chapter 1. My head still hurts when I wake up. Been hurting for days and days. Dr. Avery said I was lucky when he took out my stitches. No infections. A bone bruise on my scalp at worst. Some hairless idea of luck. Heartless, sorry. I swear I can read. If I was lucky, I'd be doing something better with my life. Anything better, if I was lucky. I would have been born clever. I would have never met Jack, and he wouldn't have done this to me. If I was lucky, I wouldn't be dead. He wouldn't be dead. And I wouldn't be a murderer. If I was lucky, I wouldn't have come to Echo. I still remember how Jack smelled when he mixed with his tobacco, and how he smelled right after he died. I still remember his laugh. How he made me feel unique and special. I thought he was going to set me free. I thought I was going to be happy with him. I'm stupid. So fucking stupid. I always feel something watching me now. It makes me scared. and it makes me want to cry. It hates me. They'll hate me. They'll hang me for this if they find out. I'm a queer whore without a family or friends, in the middle of the dirty frontier. God damn it. The sun pattering at the door just makes my head throw up worse. Samuel? I peel the thin sheets off my chest, already missing them, as the air sucks the warmth from me, and I sit up. All I see in front of me is the vanity mirror on top of the dresser. I'm looking back at myself, lying in the dark. It seems darker than usual. I'm starting to hate looking into it when I'm alone. If I'll ever really be alone again after that day, there was something down those mines. Black as tar, and sticking to me. If I hadn't met the devil that day, it must have been a close associate of his. Be alert and sober of mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around looking for someone to devour. Peter, 5'8". I'd always figured he'd be charming or a deceiver. Tricky, like the good book describes him. That's how he traps you, right? He makes you feel loved. He makes you feel unique in all of the world. And then you give everything to him and he takes you and you suffer. But that was more like the devil than Jack. What I felt was raw and mean. Some hungry, horrible malice. No tricks. Maybe that's part the Bible leaves out. What he does after he knows he has you. My soul is damned now, isn't it? Nothing will be the same again for me, will it? I'm so scared. Samuel, may I have a word, or a few? Go away, damn it. Come in. She bounds in, then falters. I see her narrow eyes widen, and the smile on her muzzle curls into a frown. I didn't mean to hurt you. Stupid of me to be so loud. It's not so bad. It is. You're crying. Hot streams run down my cheeks as I realize she's right. I watch for her soft, sorrowful look to twist into curiosity, but it never does. I start to wonder if the reason Cynthia has her job is because she's such a good actor. How could she not be suspicious of me? How could nobody ask again? Cynthia pulls out a thin roll of parchment from her dress pocket and places it gingerly on my dresser. Madame wants you to do a few errands today, considering you've been idle. Could be helpful for you to be out and about for a spell. She smiles shyly as she withdraws her paw from the vanity, twirling to face me, and then reaches my doorway. Find me if you need me to do this for you instead, of course, and return before dark. Stop fussing. I wouldn't be caught dead outside after dark. For the first time, I see Cynthia's features twist into severe expression. Her voice lowers into a sharp hiss. Well, that's a frightful possibility for the moment, is it not? Follow the route. Do not bother going if you cannot. She closes the door on me without another word. Parchment just reads, "Take the day off and mingle with some of the folk in the saloon. If you plan on going out, follow the safe route, when trusted eyes will be on you. Spend some leisure time today. That's not a request." Groan. Can't be late in bed, you need to be leisurely. You know? It's hard to get used to the noise of the main saloon during the day. It's loud, and it's crowded. Benton plays in the corner on his twangy piano, while the constant murmuring of coworkers, family members, or squealing children adds to the ruckus. It's not akin to my simple, sparse room at all. I like the paintings of bow botanicals hanging from the wood paneling, but don't much like that they hang from every turned corner. The paneling of the bar is buffed, shaved and warped into a prissy little curls that resemble the fashionable new style. Art Nouveau, I think it's called. I just kind of want to look it up. Art Nouveau? Oh yeah, and I did update the game. There's Art Noob. I have no idea what that is. More important, about the bar is that folks generally know not to bother one another during the daylight. So I put myself there. Harlan's brow lifts as he makes his way to me. The severe old hair clicks his tongue to get my attention. What will you have, Sam? He's much busier than he usually is, telling from the sheen of sweat on his brow. He always looks angry at me, but speaks in a flat manner, so I can never tell what's on his mind. The only hint I have on him is that his left ear flicks when he senses trouble in the lounge. His ear only stopped doing that for me a few months ago. Just whiskey with sugar. Bitters, too. I can do that, Sam. He pulls a clean sipping glass hanging from the rack and starts to busy himself with a few bottles and a jigger? What's a jigger? I gotta look this up. I have to assume it's that thing that... Okay, it's one of those things, it's like... I guess it's like a thing where it's like a single and on the other side's a double? Never heard it called that. I feel like if I'm supposed to be making idle chatter, I might as well start with my cohort here. You holding up well today? Harry grunts and leans in, lowering his voice to a whisper. We're big, but we ain't this big. I'm running out of stock faster than I should, and the girls can barely keep up. We're built for 30 in the lounge at a time, not 40, not 50. If we turn people away, there's gonna be a fuss. He placed my drink in front of me, finishing before I noticed. He's fast. Enjoy, Sam. He leaves before I can thank him. Another customer has his attention now, ordering something complicated. I turn around and look at the rest of the bar behind me. The round tables, usually reserved for poker, are covered in drinks and food, holding patrons. The standing and hanging lamps in this room all have cut glass panels, stained pearly white, green or gold. Some of the more expensive ones close to the bar are electric, which Madame says is safer near the alcohol. Oh, because, fire and alcohol not good. The other ones that are close to the cozy tables against the window look welcoming, but I avoid sitting near them during the day. What I see there now is a young girl crying over a drink she spilled on her own. Her mom comforts her, while her son drinks beer. There's a crash as he spills his drink too. Benton plays the piano a little louder, while some of the waitresses rush out to the ball with brooms and rags to help with the spill to pick up the glass. I swear I can read. Guess I'm still tired. I don't envy the waitresses much, but I would appreciate the opportunity to work a day and night shift here. Madame has me run errands for Broad, but I should be making more. Harlan said I was too big to be running in and out of the kitchen. He probably isn't wrong, but it's not the answer I wanted. I've been around here for so long, and I'm starting to recognize the locals by the day they visit. Huh. I wonder if these are random pictures or if we're actually going to see them more often. Huxley, the rat in the corner with dusty sleeves, is always playing poker on his time off here with Reed, the shaggy wolf with a scar on his snout. Marcy told me that the rug is staying. Does Marcy pay your bills? No. Does Marcy know anything about the world beyond fussing, tidying, and playing with wooden puzzles all day? When you're not about to coddle her? When you're not? How's coddle? I don't know. No, but the damn rug is her mother's. It's filthy. So she should clean it then. I watch them take turns drawing cards. She's tired, but she isn't that clever. I'm just sick of looking at the damn thing. So do something about it then. Royal flush. Son of a bitch. Stop distracting me with your damn stories. Mind your business, and you'll win some. The rat smiles and takes his winnings, and the wolf slaps another dollar bill on the table. They often get a little rowdy, but they know not to push it too far. They're here too much. It's almost their home as much as mine, though I wouldn't exactly call them family. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even know who I was. I hear the saloon door flip open in the foyer. A spindly-looking weasel, dressed in dapper bow tie, turns the corner. His nose switches as he looks from one customer to another, rapidly, and the widest, brightest grin I've ever seen spreads across his face. Goodness, here's that good old hustle and bustle that I miss. The reputation of Sanguaro's hip most certainly precedes her. I don't know. Stoat! The Stoat sounds foreign. British maybe, but not quite the same as I've heard before. Some heads turn, and the Stoat looks as if he's making an announcement to somebody or another, but nobody in particular is paying attention or listening. I see Harlan's ear twitch. I'm sorry, sir, but we have no seat left aside from the bar. The bar sounds excellent, my dear. I hope not to impose for very long. You see, I've always wanted to visit an authentic Western saloon. Why wouldn't I want to start there? Cynthia laughs politely. She has to struggle to keep her ears from splaying. Like going, well, I don't have hand gestures, but going wider. I guess that's the word, splay. Ha! This is as authentic as it gets, sir. She slowly turns to guide him to my way, near the bar. I give her my hardest glare, as she tries to communicate, I'm sorry, non-verbally, with her eyes and her grimace, but the man is seated, right next to me. The perfume coming off him is a bit herbal and strong. Thankfully, the Stoat isn't interested in me at the moment. His attention is taken by the bar itself. He gasps and waves at Harlan over with a spastic paw. Sir, is this a genuine... Damn it, game. It was hard enough reading normally when my throat kind of hurts and my eyes are not great. But what's with these words? Dalbera? Genuine Dalbera. No sirs here, just Harlan. And I couldn't tell you. I just serve the drinks here. What do you have? What's most popular? Beer. The Stoat frowns slightly. Okay, second most popular. Also beer. Third. I try not to make eye contact with him. Ah, I see. Well, I have this one then. There's more than one kind. Yes, well, then I would like to have whichever kind is most preferred by the clientele. Harlan nods and gets out a mug. I smell the citrus in my drink and close my eyes to take a sip when I suddenly feel scrutinized. I don't read those words often. Scrutinized is a word, but I can't remember reading it too often. The hairs on the back of my neck rise. I look left, still facing forward, to see the Stoat stare me down. You're one of the workers here, aren't you? I nearly inhale some of my whiskey, and the back of my throat burns. I take my time to stop, to swallow, and then put my glass down. No, just a frequent visitor. That's strange. You fit the exact description of somebody I was told to look for. Shit. I look up at Harlan, who's busy with another customer. His ears still flickering. The mountain lion, with beautiful markings and near white fur, built like a house, she said. Work does things to the body. Yes, it does. I can see the insides of his tiny ears blushing. He'd probably be cute if he didn't talk. This one won't be able to tell you very much about our evening selections. Come back after dark if you're interested. Roland's voice is cold and sharp, and I suddenly feel a welling surge of thankfulness for him. Oh, my apologies then. The Stoat trembles as his pink paws glide over the buttons of his satchel, playing with them nervously. The ladies will be able to help you with whatever you need. Oh, but I'm interested in the men. Boy, that's straightforward. My eyes widen. I start to sip on my whiskey faster. I don't mind that it burns going down. I just need something to keep my mouth covered, so I'm not audibly gasping. I'm afraid that we aren't that type of establishment. Sir? I do not... Harlan. I don't mean to be imprudent, but I was most specifically informed that you offered male options. Then you should have also known they have gone through secretive channels to find me, you imbecile. You should stop yelling. I hadn't realized that it was. He wasn't. I think we need to have a talk outside, fella. I quietly thank the Lord that Reed doesn't know about any of my clients now. The bags underneath the middle-aged wolf's eyes are extremely puffy today, but he always has a stale smell about him. I can tell that he's drunk from the way he swaggers. Ron's ears is twitching worse than I've ever seen before. Outside sounds like a good idea. There was danger in the hare's tone. The wolf flinched from the sudden snap, but he shakes it off. I think I may have made a mistake. Damn right you did. One of the wolf's friends is staring at the Stoats from the table. He looks far less drunk, but far more upset. It's a frightful look. And that when a mistake is made, a remedy can be supplied, though. A good communication. I think talking would be a good idea. Outside. Cliff raises his paws, nodding, and puts a loop of his small satchel over his head. His thin, brown, black-tipped tail is brushing into what are mistakenly anxiety spikes. He leaves his beer untouched and swiftly escapes from the parlor out the front door. Soon after, the other two follow. Shit. I have to think over my options. Seems like my new foreign friend is getting the authentic experience that he was after. On the other hand, maybe they're going easy on him, and he'll learn some discretion. On the other hand, they might kill him if nobody's around to look. I rise from my seat. Let them be, Sam. You don't need any more stitches. I shrug and whisper. You just lost your customer. I don't necessarily want to do the same. I just need the money. Harlan places his fists on his chin, lifts his brow, and gives me a curt nod before I turn on him and exit the door. I think now might be a decent point to call it. I mean, it's not exactly the... Or actually, continue on just a bit. Again, I didn't mean to argue or create a scene. I truly thought my source was reliable, They said the Santiago's hip, Saguero's hip, could cater to dandy curiosities. What in the name of God is wrong with you, this filthy limey? There are kids in there, you goddamn pervert. As if your friend has any room to talk. Cynthia has some flirty stories on him. Filthy stories on him. What kind of shithole are you from that produces men like you? Educated men, no less. Educated, he says. Probably why he's here. Degenerates like him get chased out from there. Chased out from where they came from. Wouldn't be the first faggot to lie. Well, at least YouTube allows that word, I guess. Well, not good, but still. Not sure that he's a faggot. No, not sure. Caught him making eyes at Marcy. The wolf guffaws. What's what the? I mean, I guess they put like, you know, not Wild West, but like Western words. Oh, who doesn't? She's a nasty bitch. He's a filthy bastard who wants to fuck anything, isn't he? Well, I mean, yes, but that's another story. I certainly wouldn't to fuck neither of you. Your fist meets Cliff's stomach with a harsh impact. The weasel tumbles into the dirt, yelling as he spins. Filth suits you better than a woman's shit you're wearing, you greasy pile of shit. The rat advances on the weasel's new location. He lifts his leg. He lets it hang there in the air for a few seconds, then lets it fall. He kicks 3 times, hard. Cliff is letting out a horrible noise. I start to wonder if the little guy will get up, which unfortunately means I may have to go into another fight. Claws extended. When all of a sudden, the rat stops kicking Cliff. He's sniffing and sobbing on the ground, when the clamor of dozens of doors open and people leaving their homes sound throughout the street. I spot William in the distance, and he's staring in the direction of the alley. Shit. I'll pay another fucking fine. Let's get out of here before we're recognized. I like booze better than I like booze better than I had candy ass. I don't understand. Candy asses? Two quickly ran off, leaving the weasel curled on the ground, covered in dirt and bruises, tears streaming from his eyes. He makes pitiful sounds as I crouch over him on my knees. You alright, Professor? Student. Can you move? I don't... No. Wiggle your feet. They move just fine. Now move your hands. Now your fingers. Good. You're fine. No, I'm not fine. I was beaten. Everything hurts. But we will live without any permanent damage. Better than I can say for most who'd have the balls to do what you did back there. He's about to say something else. Fervently, I look left and right to make sure no one's looking. People are passing us rapidly, but a few are paying attention. There must be something important happening in front of us. I bend down to shut him up with a soft kiss. That's... He squeaks in surprise, trembling. His tongue is tiny and receptive, as he tastes like mint. That's a weird thing to do to a guy. Just in the middle, just after... Why? Maybe that'll help with the pain. He stares at me, wipes a tear from his eye, and slowly sits up. I'm amused by the sudden lump in his pants. You had the right place. Be smart about it next time. You're supposed to be good at that, right? The sudden disturbance at the town center. Hushed voices and urgent clattering all the way. Don't worry about getting a punch thrown at you from time to time. Betting what you are here. See, there's always something for these folks to be busy themselves with. They can hardly control themselves. They'll forget it in no time. I turn back to put on my best smile for Cliff, but he's already gone. Who's Cliff? He seems like he's a slippery fella when he wants to be. Is Cliff the guy that we're talking to? Let's just scroll back. Oh, Samuel. Wait, am I Samuel? Oh, he's Cliff. Maybe you'll remember that next time some slom's fist is trying to make an intimate contact with his gut. He's a doctor, after all. If he's really quick learner, then there really shouldn't be a problem, should there? I grow more concerned just pondering it. Meanwhile, the crowd is growing. Most of them are men, some of them which I recognize, most which are strangers. There are, of course, plenty of women peering from the windows, pretending to arrange their curtains. But among the crowd are two familiar figures. One is William. The other is a red fox with a camera slung around his neck. Murdoch. I've seen him work at the general store and do odd photography jobs around the town, but I've never heard him had to speak with him. Ooh. I guess that's a good time to call it, as something interesting's happening, and there's a new character. Well, anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play, so please comment, because I like comments, what you like, dislike, tips, or always. I guess you could do tips, but by the time, this comes out, I might even finish the game, or at least up to date. Well, until next time. On another Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix, of the Smoke Room. Kind of feel like I want to go a little bit further, but we all know what's about to happen, So thanks and see ya.